Hi everyone, welcome back to Casually Comics, and I'm back. I know some of you are like, you were gone? It depends how long it takes me to edit this. It may feel more or less like I was gone. It probably won't. This is gonna be a more life updatey video, so if you're not interested in that, I will catch you in the next more comic-based video. This is easing back into it for me because just had a baby. So yay, that's very exciting. This is the first video I'm filming since I've been back. Now, I know everybody has very different feelings about how and when you should get back to work. And what I'm gonna say to that is you need to do what feels right and best for you. Thankfully, this latest baby is very much a big sleeper, big sleep energy. So I'm rested, he's resting. It's good. He gets to have some daddy-son time, and that's nice. Now I get to come up and chat quickly with you about comics and other things. This is baby number 3, so the transition is a bit easier than the last time. Each time it gets a little bit smoother. Yeah, I wanted to hop back on. It felt weird to not film or script or do anything channel related for those 2-3 days. I'll do a quick how it went and all that stuff. Nothing too TMI, don't want to scare anybody, but went in on February 15th, early in the morning, about 2:30, and then he was born at 7:42. So yeah, and they let me go home that same day, which was great. Big fan of going home the same day. Also big fan of the tub. If you ever find yourself in this situation, they offer you the tub. The tub is great. I stand by the tub and the yoga ball. Even though when you're in the hospital, it's called a birthing ball. It's just a yoga ball. So while I was there, I of course missed the Tuesday comic drops, the Wednesday comic drops. Wasn't thinking about them at all. But when I got home, I had a chance to catch up, see what I missed, all of that stuff. So I figured we could quickly chat about what you're reading, what you're enjoying, all of those things. Just have a nice casual comic conversation. There were some things that I did pick up, and I was every time I go in, I plan that I'm gonna read or do stuff at the hospital, and it never happens. But I did bring this, which is the big giant Invader Zim first hardcover. I'm a big fan of Invader Zim. Gur's not just back there for no reason. He's not just for show. This one has such a fun cover too. It's designed, as you can tell, like a big breakfast cereal box, and then on the back it has all the fake nutritional stuff, and it's pretty funny. Saturated fat, yes. Trans fat, of course. Cholesterol, that's in here. It's just a really fun book, in my opinion. It's got lots of influence from Johann Vasquez in here, and the first story has some of the threads that were used in the movie Enter the Florpus, but it's also a bit different. This was, in my opinion, a really fun tie-in series, so it's always fun to revisit and reread. And this giant size format, of course, makes it very fun to go through. Also makes the format that my kids can read because all the lettering is so gigantic. Oh, I was gonna bring that upstairs. I left it downstairs though. But my daughter is obsessed with Emperor Joker right now. She's just going through it over and over and over again. In fact, that was what inspired the Jimmy Olsen Transforms video, or rather put it back into my mind. That was the last video I managed to post before going away to the hospital. In the Emperor Joker, they play on that transformation where Jimmy becomes giant turtle boy. And it just reminded me that, oh, I really want to do something with Jimmy. I know those videos are kind of niche, the Silver Age stuff, but I really love doing it, and I always appreciate putting them out there, and especially when I can do a longer format thing like that. So thank you to everybody who checked that out and who left comments and who enjoyed it. I really appreciate that because it was a bit longer, but so fun, and I still want to do more of those. On the floppy front, I know I don't often have floppies. Dynamite was actually kind enough to send me some copies of Darkwing Duck, so I have multiple covers of this as well, which is fantastic because it meant that I felt comfortable giving my daughter one to read and not worry that it's going to end up all trashed before I had a chance to read it. Although this is fairly solid. I should bag and board it though, so that it remains alive. I did read this one. I was gonna do a whole review on it, but I got waylaid by birth because this is not a show that I grew up with. Like, I was the age for it, but we didn't have a TV that got this channel. So, and I couldn't make the little antenna thing go together enough to get it. So I'm not very familiar with the show. So while I really enjoyed this issue and I thought it was fun and funny and very cute, and my daughter really loved it and thought it was great, I don't know how accurate it is to either version of the show, but I can say that it was an enjoyable read. It was fun. It was something you can read with your kids, which is not something you can say about a lot of comics these days. I also have gargoyles here too, and there's a really cool gargoyle cover. I'm glad I got that one. Look at that, gargoyles. Yeah. This one I'm much more familiar with, although largely it's because of all the clips on YouTube, again, because I didn't get this channel, when I realized that so many of the voice actors were from Star Trek TNG, and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
It's my first real stab at cliched villainy.
In terms of the digital space, I caught up with a couple of things that I'm reading, not too many, and also this is a great time for digital because when you're holding a baby or trying to breastfeed or doing multitasking things like that, it's much easier to read on the digital format of your phone than trying to hold like a book like that. You can, but a nice small paperback is much easier for that than a giant floppy or a big hardbound omnibus or something. I do have the latest Lazarus Planet tie-in, but I only skimmed it. The first story with Helena Bertinelli, I believe that was the version of Huntress that was in play there, was interesting. Let's put it that way. There are some interesting lines if they are planning to play with her history of being a devout Catholic, so we'll see how that goes. I didn't get a chance to dive much further in than that. What I did get a chance to fully read was Fantastic Four issue 4, because this was the issue that promised that they were going to deal with the mystery, like what happened to the city. And you know what? They did. They actually did. I saw some salty kind of comments on Reddit where they're like, you see, this is how you do it, Amazing Spider-Man, because that one is still, I think, dragging out its mystery box, or was. This one only took 4 issues to figure out what Reed did, and it did have a pretty big impact, and it was something that people would be upset about, and it was something that the team would be upset about. So that worked, even though because the tone overall has been so lighthearted, it feels like it would have hit a bit harder if they'd put a tiny bit more seriousness into some of the issues, especially Reed and Sue's, because let's just say, without going fully into it and getting really detailed, that their kids are gone. They're now out of step in time with them, and they have to wait an entire year for this block of people, including their kids, to come back into the proper time space. And that would be so devastating. And Sue is so behind Reed, which, yes, but also it feels like there should be a bit more there than that, because those are your kids, and that would be so upsetting. The commitment to having Reed and Sue have a good relationship in this is nice, but good doesn't mean that there are no conflicts or no times when you're extremely upset with the person, or when standing by them doesn't also mean having some conflict about some of the things that they've done. They do play with that a bit, but in my opinion, it could have been ramped more up. But it was an interesting payoff, and it was something that's gonna have long-lasting ramifications. So going forward, they're gonna be together, so that's fun. You're gonna get the Fantastic Four together, and they do have the little letters column at the end, but I didn't get a chance to read it, of course. But it's nice that it's there. It makes me happy to see it. I also finished off Batman Beyond the White Knight, which did a lot of setup for the next one, Generation Joker. I mostly made sure to finish to see if Blight died on a submarine again, because I did that Blight retrospective. He did not, feeling vindicated. He exploded, but not on a submarine. It's different. There was big setup energy in the last issue, and I don't know, just a complete side note, I'm not sure if I love that Wonder Woman design, but that's just me. I read everything on the second day I was back, so there's still that kind of hormonal haze. Some things I need to catch up on are, of course, Punchline. I was on issue 4. I have not forgotten, and now issue 5 is coming out, I think, next week, so I'm gonna have to combine them. I was going to script issue 4 before, but then I got distracted, and there's this line in it where she says the word boomer out loud to Black Mask, and it broke me a little bit. Some things are things people say online, but I'm not sure how much people say it out loud outside of typing it in, say, a text message or in a forum, but to actually verbalize it, or in all fairness, in some kind of online content, because making a video for TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube is different than having a conversation with a person or a back and forth, and the language you use in each circumstance is a bit different, because even though this is talking to somebody or to a general mass of people, that's still a different experience than talking directly to someone face to face. I'm processing. I'm still processing. It's been weeks. So much else happened in this issue, and I'm still living in this one panel where Punchline calls him a boomer. There's also a little short in one of the Lazarus planets for Red Canary where she gets named. Her name is Sienna. Now you know. Every time I post a picture of her and Sideways doing stuff, I'm always surprised by how many people enjoy Sideways. There's always this big group of, yes, Sideways is back. So I need to know, for those of you Sideways lovers, what are you loving about Sideways? I just realized I still have my hospital bracelet on, one of them. It's fine. Sometimes you get so used to wearing them that you just kind of forget. I wanted to pop by, say hi. Also because I did post about potentially being away for a bit in the community tab, but those don't go out to everybody. So I thought I would just do a quick like, hi, here's where I've been, here's where I may be, all of those things. And I also wanted to say thank you so much for all the kind well wishes and congratulations. I really appreciate it. Be able to go through and read some of those while very ouchy. It was very heartwarming. That's right, it's the Hudson's Bay mug. That's how you know it's serious. Actually, no, that's how you know it's not serious. That's what the mug means. The mug means that it's not serious. So chat with me. What are you reading? What are you keeping up with? Where are you in your comic journey? Are you in a period where you're reading a lot, not reading as much? Just share with me, come chat with me. I'm looking forward to coming back with a full edited, scripted video, all of that good stuff. Any other random Silvers retrospectives you would love, just leave me comments. Very excited to be back and chat with all of you. And yeah, this was just a quick thing. Not everything needs to be 45 minutes. Not everything is Jimmy Olsen. I'm Sasha. I will see you all again very soon. Thanks so much for being with me here on YouTube. Do all of the YouTube things, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.